What's the name of his page? KL.
So it'll go live. Well, we're live on Facebook now. We'll go live on the radio in about 55 seconds. So I got 30 seconds.
Two. You said we can't hear ourselves on the phone. They can't
Well, I
hear.
haven't turned the mics on yet.
Okay.
Oh, so they can see us online?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I just shared it.
So, that's right on. Here, do it, Sean. No,
That's what's up.
You know I don't do no social media.
That's what's up.
All right. So we're starting about 30 seconds.
Now time for community conversation. A program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM.
KLK 102.5 FM. Good morning to you on your Friday. It's November 17th, 2023. This is part 2 of Community Conversations, and we have joined us members of Arise Ministries Jonesboro. Arise Ministries is a relatively new church. They've been around the block for about a minute or two now, but they are getting ready to celebrate their anniversary. But this church is doing amazing things. I have had a front row seat to watch the growth of this church since day one. I was at their very first service. We actually broadcast that service here on KLK, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'm going to actually let the members of the church talk about their own story. But joining us today is Minister Jeremy Miles, co-pastor Nashana Rogers, Minister Ebony Weaver, and Mr. Kelton Ramsey. So I'm going to actually start with co-pastor since, you are the co-pastor. So can I just talk a little bit about the story of Arise Ministries? Obviously, it started with you and your husband,
Yes.
Prophet Riser. So can I talk about how God gave you all the vision of the church and what led to it actually being started?
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Well, actually, Arise Ministries Jonesboro was birthed in 2017. God gave my husband a vision to start a ministry. We were currently pastoring his home church of Prince of Peace in Blythe, Arkansas. And God gave him a vision to create a church that operated under the prophetic, that transcended and wasn't afraid and unashamed of God, and to loose the boundaries and everything of that nature. So God gave him the visions that started in 2017. We were still living in Blytheville. We then started making preparation to move here to Jonesboro. So we moved here to the Jonesboro community. It still took some time for us to get it started up. When we first started Arise, my husband, we went around and we gathered 20 people to begin the ministry, to start with the praise team, with the musicians. And we started with 20 people. And when we first opened up the doors in May of 2021, it was standing room only.
It definitely was.
It was. We did the interview with you, and you were able to come in to do the live stream from us. And God has blessed us. We'll be 3 years in May of 2024. We'll be 3 years in the Jonesboro community. And since that time, God has blessed us with over 400 members.
Now that's an explosive amount of growth right there, to
Yes.
go from 20 to 400 and
Yes.
still growing. And in fact, we was talking off air that this Sunday you all are going to baptize 22 new believers.
We are, and that is so exciting. For the past month, I mean, God is just doing some amazing things, and He is shifting even in the youth community. Over the past about month and a half, just youth, teenagers are literally crying out every Sunday and are joining the ministry and are saying, hey, what must I do to be saved? I want to be baptized. I believe. And that is just such an pivotal moment to have youth that still have something burning within inside of them and that loves the Lord. So we have a baptism that's going to happen at 2:30 Sunday, and it's about 22. They're about 22.
Okay, and I want to go ahead and we're going to start with Minister Miles. So, can I just talk about, from your perspective, of the growth of the church?
Man, from my perspective of the growth of the church has been explosive, man. We came in with the vision and executed. We've been consistent, and the growth of the church has been explosive from day one. I mean, and the thing about it is when people are growing, as far as the growth of the church, when we are growing, we stay consistent. We check on our people. We reach out to them. We're just not in-house. We go out outreach. We go to the on Saturdays, we go out to the elderly, and we reach out, and it's just been growing. It's been phenomenal, man.
Okay, I'm going to move to Minister Weaver now. So, Minister Weaver, kind of talk about, from your perspective, about how things are going, because obviously how long have you been a part of the church? Were you part of the original 20?
I'm a part of.
She's
not
a part
only,
of from the last ministry.
Yes.
Last
Prince of
ministry. So
Peace.
you come even before then.
Yes, so
Yes.
Prophet T and co-pastor are not only my leaders, but they're also my cousins. Prophet T mom and my mom are sisters.
Yes.
And so you asked me to talk about the growth of the church, and I feel like I'm very, very honored to watch from down below Blyville up until now, Arise with them having their own ministry, because co-pastor and Prophet T was so gracious and so humble to pick up the ministry back home in Blyville. And they were so faithful. They were so dedicated. And to see God bless them and their own ministries and their own visions to bloom is just life-changing and so amazing for me. And I moved to Texas about in 2016, and I came back. And I came back and met my husband at their church. I've been knowing him, but it wasn't
Not to mention that prophet prophesied that.
exactly. I've been knowing him, but it wasn't until he came to Arise that we were connected, and I ended up getting my husband. So I've been tremendously blessed by Arise Ministries, and as co-pastor and Minister Miles mentioned, it's been growing, and it's such a pleasure to be at Arise every Sunday.
And I could just tell the passion and the enthusiasm in your voice, the conviction, and the way you lovingly speak of your church. All right, I'm going to pick on Kelton last. So I'm going to ask you a simple question.
Yes, sir.
So what is it about Arise that stands out? What makes you Arise unique? Now, of course, Astor mentioned about the prophetic, but I kind of want you to just break down what makes Arise unique and special.
Yes, sir. So I believe it's the activity in the youth that's in the church. We're a fairly young church, like you mentioned, but our leaders are just so energetic, and it's consistent with everything that they do. So I have the luxury of being business partners, with our leaders as well. And so when I tell you that consistent from church to home life and in business life, so it just makes it, easy to transition into church and bringing in the new members, even the youth as well. So.
Yes.
Okay, now we hear all this talk about the youth. We can't forget about our older people now.
No.
So what we
It's
got?
balanced.
What we got for the
balanced.
season, folks?
We have plenty for
Minister
the season.
Miles mentioned that Saturdays we actually go to the nursing home.
Yes, sir.
And we
do so.
every fourth Saturday of the month, and we spend time with them. And I know this past month it was such a pleasure to spend time with them, to sing with them, to give them the
sure.
word,
Yes.
and to see the smiles on their faces, to say, "Come back and see us." And we give them words like, "It's not over for you.
That's
just because
it.
you're here, just because you're older, God has so much more for you to do."
Yes.
Because so often we forget about the elderlies. We don't get at Arise. We don't get so caught up in the youth and the growth of the ministry that we forget our heritage and where we came from. So we always pay patronage and we build on the old as well as the young. And one of the transcendent things about Arise is, and I'm not just gloating on him because he's my husband, but we have a prophet that literally lives the life that he preached about on Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I have
Yes,
never
ma'am.
seen a man
Yes.
that just bury himself in the Word of God night and day, that intercedes and that's always coming up with ideas and petitioning upon the believers and up on behalf of the community, as such as the prophet. And he always give us that direct revelation,
Yes.
because we believe that God still operates and he still gives us signs and miracles and wonders. The same God that was doing it back then is the same God that's doing it now.
ma'am.
And we have a prophet that's able to give us that direct revelation before things even happen.
Okay, and one of the things that you all have become known for is you all have uniquely themed services, and in fact, y'all got
Yes.
one coming up this Sunday.
The 70s
70s,
party.
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited about the 70s party. I got
So-
my wig and everything. I'm ready.
So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the vision for that, because that is something that you typically don't see. That have you found that that's been something that's been very successful, something to kind of draw people in, kind of
It
get people
has.
through the doors,
It has.
and then once you get them through the doors, then they get the word, they get the praise and worship.
Exactly. You kind of hit it right on the head. And God gives us different vision and revelation, because even though we're a prophetic ministry, you have to be sensitive to the need of the youth, of the culture,
Yes.
and move along with it and be able to build up on that. And we have found out with the themes, it's extremely exciting, because when you go to ministry, you typically go to church. You go in, you get the word, you go home. And some of us, we forget half of what the preacher said while we at church.
Yeah.
But we have found that building on those themes and making it exciting to them. We have the kids at the high school talking about what happened. Yeah, it was a 70s party. They dressed up, but they remember the prophet talked about Jonah today. And so
Yes.
those different things grasp the attention and keep pulling them in.
All right, so what's some other things that y'all gonna have coming up? Can you kind of shed a little light on that?
Oh yes, we just did our sweatsuit Sunday, rocket
Hoodie
sweatsuit, yes,
Sunday.
our hoodie Sunday. So that was one of the most popular Sundays, because you don't have to dress up; it just changed the trajectory. No makeup, no anything. We have 90s Sunday.
Rep your college.
Rep your college.
You
Sunday.
mentioned the older people. We actually have an old,
Old
school,
school
Sunday
Sunday.
that we
Yeah.
dedicate, because you say we try to lead the old people out. We
No,
got
I didn't say y'all do. I said don't leave them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't.
that's right.
we don't.
Yeah,
That's
we don't
right.
want to leave them out.
We
Yeah,
we don't
do.
leave, we have a whole Sunday that's dedicated
I
to
think that's
them.
my favorite Sunday, because
Yes.
my husband, he comes from quartet, so that's the Sunday we can go back and sing all those old quartet songs and songs that Grandma used to sing and Way in the Wall, all
Yes.
those different type of songs.
For sure.
And of course, speaking of your husband, of course, doing a lot of these services, he seamlessly goes back and forth from singing, singing to preaching.
He does, and some may not know, my husband, he is signed to Malachi Records, and he does have a group of Pastor Terrell Riders and Men of Destiny, which Minister Jeremy is a
And we
part
don't
of
have
as
y'all
well.
music. There's something wrong
What
with
is
this
going?
picture.
We gotta get that today.
I mean, we got all gospel Wednesday and
ASAP.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got
Gotta
to
get it
take
together.
care of that
Yeah.
today.
my man got a record deal and we don't have his music.
He does, and he has traveled the nation. I mean, he has been to the Stellas. He has traveled all over the world, singing and preaching. But once he started Arise, God pulled on him to focus on that. That is his primary focal point, to build in the Jonesboro community. And stay tuned, because the upcoming year we are starting Arise Ministries Little Rock.
Okay.
So we will have our second location in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Y'all,
For sure.
y'all taking this thing all over Arkansas.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
whatever God do, we willing
Y'all,
vessels.
y'all just gonna be obedient. That's
We're gonna be
That's it.
obedient. We're
That's
gonna move
it.
with the Spirit.
All right. So besides that, what are some of the things upcoming in the Jonesboro community? Some things that you are going to do, far as like being out and involved in the community. I know you mentioned the nursing home, and I know
Yes.
in the past y'all have given food giveaways
Yes,
and
yes.
toy giveaways. What are some other community events that we can look forward to seeing from you guys?
Yes.
We're actually working on a youth shed-in, right? We're
Yes.
planning that in the upcoming year. Like, we're gonna do some
Bend
things.
that mic down slightly.
Okay, God.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on the youth shed-in and things in the upcoming youth. As co-pastor mentioned, we've had a lot of youth to come in, and it's just been amazing. So that's what we're doing with working with the youth.
Yes, and December we do have our toy giveaway before Christmas, so we'll be releasing information from that. So those of you that don't follow, please follow us on our social media page of Arise Ministries Jonesboro on Facebook, Instagram. They just got us a TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, but they just got the church a TikTok.
Oh, yeah. And that's Arise Ministries as well. I'm going to have to follow that.
You got to follow. You got to
Yeah.
follow.
Yes,
I got to
sir.
get TikTok now because we are officially on TikTok.
One
But
thing,
go ahead, Kay.
okay, I was going to say one thing I want to mention is that we are a praying church.
That's
so
it. That's it.
even from day one when we started, you could catch us at the hospital, at the police station, downtown Jonesboro,
Just walking and praying.
over the community, over
Yeah.
everyone
Yes.
that's involved
Yes.
in
That's
what we
it.
have going on. So that's one thing I can say about my leaders is that they stay in the face of God. Even on Mondays, the men we meet at 4 in the morning. I think the
Yeah.
women meet at 5 on
Oh,
Wednesdays,
yes.
and we do corporate prayer. We had corporate
Corporate
prayer
prayer on
this Friday at 5. So
5
we stay
a.m.
in the face of God, man. That's one thing our leaders do preach, and so you will catch us praying, maybe even on a Walmart parking lot somewhere.
Right.
So,
Wherever the Spirit leads us.
For sure.
But we
And
are
what-
trying to get more involved in the community, and we have tons of events. And so we always post our calendar as well on the media. Pastor is currently developing a mentor program because he want to do a mentor program for the young men in the community. So we
Yes.
have a ton of ideas and things to do so we can do outreach.
Okay. And of course, we got so excited, I forgot to ask one of the most important questions. Where can you all be found at? Because, I mean, I'm sure you got some people watching this and like, that sounds like a fun church. Where they worship at and when? So let's make sure we get that information out there.
Okay, so we are currently located at Awaken Church, and we thank God for Pastor Lance. We
Yes.
have
For sure.
partnered
Yes.
with
For
Pastor
sure.
Lance of the Awaken Church,
Yep.
and he allows us to use his facility, and it's 2101 Fowler Street.
Yes, don't forget it.
2101 Fowler
right behind
Street.
Sam's. Can't
Right,
miss
you
it.
can't miss it. It's right behind Sam's. And with that said, I do want to invite everyone out. Next Sunday, we will be celebrating our third pastoral anniversary at Arise Ministries Jonesboro.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We are extremely excited about that. And that Saturday, our Prophet Terrell Rogers, will be releasing his first prophetic prayer
Yes.
book. So we are so excited.
Super
for that.
excited.
Oh,
Super
yeah.
excited. And our special guest that night is Pastor Stephen Cannon from West Helena. You told me he was
Yep.
from Helena.
I know Pastor Cannon.
Don't
yeah.
miss it.
He is. He will be there, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. That Saturday. Then that Sunday, we'll celebrate the anniversary at 5 p.m. at Awaken Church with Pastor Warren and Pastor Johnny Moore.
And of course, that's also a good thing about you all's church with it starting at 5 p.m. So if you want to go to the church that you normally go to, you can still
Yes.
attend
Yeah.
you can
Yes,
still
sir.
attend your regular church service and then still worship with Arise. They're not trying to steal anybody's members or
No.
anything
Thank
like
you.
that.
Thank
Not
you.
at all.
You know,
Yes.
just if you just want a little something extra, if after Sunday morning you said, you know what,
Some extra
I need some more. I need some more.
A little
word.
more word. Come
Yeah.
visit us at Arise.
All right, so in our last 2 minutes, is there anything else that you all just want to talk about the church? Anything else that y'all want to promote in the community?
Well, I just want to promote Arise Ministries Jonesboro and just say that we are here in the community. We are here to build the community. We are here to be in partnership with all the leaders of the Jonesboro community because our ultimate goal at Arise Ministries Jonesboro is to spread love, joy, peace, and to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is our mission. That is our goal. That is our one motive why we are here.
All right, anybody want to add anything to that?
It's a church for God's people.
All God's
Everybody.
people. Put the all
Everybody.
in there.
Yes,
all
all
God's people.
Oh, God.
We're not excluding anybody.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
We are.
All right, well, we want to thank you all so much for joining us. Arise Ministries Jonesboro celebrating 3 years. I want to definitely congratulate you all on all
Thank
of
you.
the great things that you're doing in the community. And of course, now are y'all worshiping still doing every other?
No, we,
so y'all
we went full time
So
this year. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, 5 p.m.
Yes.
Give them that address one more time.
at the Awakened Church, 2101 Fowler Street. I repeat, 2101 Fowler Street here in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Every Sunday at 5 p.m. And of course, don't forget, coming up next Saturday, 6:30
The
p.m.
prophetic book release. It's
prophetic
gonna bless
book
your
release.
life.
Yeah, so you can go ahead. And of course, I'm sure he will be signing autographs and copies of the book.
He will.
yeah.
So you can get your copy and you can get it signed as well. But most importantly,
Yes.
you can get a prophetic word spoke on your life. All right,
Yes.
that's going to do it for this edition of Community Conversations. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for joining us. We were joined today by co-pastor Nashana Rogers, Minister Jeremy Miles, Minister Ebony Weaver, and Mr. Kelton Ramsey. All right, you guys have a great and blessed day. This is KLEK,
Thank you so
102.5
much for having
FM.
us.
That was good, y'all.
Good.